I can't say I've ever combined insects and semen before.
That would have been too much for people to handle.
I think it might have been.
Is it fake news? Is it real news? This is fake news, and I am real.
Laura.
Amelia.
Laura Woods. Or should I say Woodsy?
Yeah, I like that better.
You like that better?
I do like it when you call me Woodsy.
Okay, I'll call you Woodsy then.
Yeah, let's do that.
Are you ready to play fake news?
I'm so excited about this.
Okay, well let's get going then.
Okay, first one I've got for you, Amelia. I got suspended from school for jumping out the window in class and going into boys' toilets.
That sounds incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, it was. However, it was the first floor or ground floor.
Okay, fine,
So
yeah.
when you jump out, you're not kind of like, oh, you're just kind of sliding out the window and then you're landing immediately.
What were you doing trying to get into the boys' toilets?
Wow. It felt like a more adequate environment for me to be in.
Okay,
It was entertaining.
right.
It was more like a dare.
Were the girls' toilets closed? Is that what was going on?
No, the girls' toilets actually were open at the time. But you know when you're at school and you're just a little bit wayward and you're like, how can I make this day more fun? Where are all the boys?
And they're in the toilet.
They're
That's
always
where they
in the
are.
toilet.
The thing is with the boys' toilets, it just smells so bad.
Yes, it did smell quite bad.
Were you doing that a lot then at school?
That was a first for me. I was fairly disruptive. But I think at school you kind of make your own fun, don't you? And I didn't find it that interesting, so.
Did you ever set off the fire alarm?
Yeah.
What?
Did you?
No. I was in the
did that?
library. I was the assistant to the librarian and I returned the books in break and lunch.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But there was also no boys at my school, so, because boys are gross. Okay, well, I feel like that's true.
You're correct.
Yeah.
Oh, we know each other so well.
We know each other so well.
You know I'm an Arsenal fan, right?
Yes.
And I have some like odd habits when I go to sleep. And one of them is that I cannot go to sleep without my Gunnosaurus teddy bear. My glamorous assistant just
Oh my God, here he is.
Hello, darling.
Wow. Did you bring him here today because you were planning on taking a nap?
No. I kind of thought, well, you can actually in cars, because you know how some people in cars, we take like pillows and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I always bring him and he does smell like me quite a lot actually. If you
Let's smell him. Wow, smells like roses and beautiful flowers.
Thank you very
like
much.
you and just sunsets.
Thank you.
Wow, so every night you go to bed?
Yeah, because I used to have a much older version of him, but then after a while, you know what happens in bed when
What happens in bed? Do tell me.
you know, like when you cuddle something too much and it starts to sort of like fall away at the seams.
Erode, yeah.
Like most men in our lives.
Yeah, totally.
Then
they're just withering away.
He started eroding, so I had to get a new one. So this one's only about, I would say this is 2 seasons old or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you meet the big Gunnosaurus often?
Yeah, I met him once. I mean, we don't like privately meet up anymore.
Oh,
But
right, okay.
I met him once. He came into a box that I was with. A box that I was in to meet. I was with my family, so he
meet
met all
you?
like the little. Yeah, well, it was a secret fling. But yeah, I've only met him once or twice.
I feel like this has to be true.
This one is false.
What?
What a lying cow I am.
Oh my God, you're really good at lying.
Thank you. I used to collect insects, put them in little boxes, and then take them out and race them.
That sounds really normal. What type of insects were you racing?
A woodlouse.
Woodlouse?
Yeah.
How big is a woodlouse?
Really little, I would say, like probably about that big.
Where were you finding these woodlouse? Like in your room?
No, everywhere. No, never in the house. You would lift up a piece of wood and then they'd all be under there.
Oh, like
and then you'd catch them.
in Lion King with Pumbaa and Timon when they're like looking for food.
Exactly.
Okay, exactly
But
like
Croydon.
that. But Croydon.
Yeah.
What about worms? Were you racing worms?
No, I couldn't. Racing worms was a bit too difficult because they just took so long. And
Did you build a racetrack?
No, the problem is, this is what you'll find when you come to do it.
Okay, which
Because
is inevitable.
It'll happen. It happens to all of us, isn't it? What happens is you take them out of the box and then you try to start them at the same time. I could only do 2 because of my 2 hands. And
yeah. You don't have more than 2 hands.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
So you put them in the ground and then you set them off to race and then they just basically go everywhere they want. So.
Right, so they're not that great sportsmen.
No, I don't think so. And it's very hard to tell who actually wins the race because Where's the finish line?
It's very kind of philosophical. Where is the finish line in
the
life?
finish line?
You don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Okay, so you weren't there with a little mini microphone?
No, I wasn't. I was kind of like the orchestrator. I was the organizer. But
You were also the coach?
I was the coach, and I also was the oh my God, I would capture them. Thinking about it, it's actually quite cruel because they would live in these little boxes.
I was going to say that.
Matchstick boxes.
I was going to say it's quite cruel.
Wow, I kidnapped them, didn't I?
Yeah, you really did. And you put them to work. Did you even pay them?
Slave labour.
No payment.
I didn't even feed them, Amelia.
What?
Oh my God, they didn't have
Oh
oxygen.
my God. Okay, so I'm really hoping that this is false then.
This is true.
This is true. God, bloody hell. Laura.
Oh my God.
Well, have you always been this competitive?
I've always been this weird.
Yeah, okay.
I had to break up with my first boyfriend because my mum found out that he was a Spurs fan.
I mean, that makes sense.
It does.
Did you know when you first met him that he was a Spurs fan?
I knew he was a Spurs fan, yeah.
But you just sort of put that to one side?
Yeah, he was so beautiful, I didn't mind. And it didn't really cause that many problems in our relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any personality traits that you think Spurs fans have, like all of them?
Inability to finish off tasks.
Okay.
It was quite a common one.
Yep.
You know, like when they bottle things and stuff like that.
Right.
They also can't they find it really difficult to find happiness in their own existence.
Yes.
So then they see happiness everywhere else and they want to tear down your happiness.
Okay.
Window into our relationship, really, but yeah.
That sounds maybe like your mum was right then. That,
She's always right.
Yeah,
You should always listen to your mother.
yeah, of course, that maybe it wasn't right for those reasons. So have you dated a Tottenham fan since, or just been put off? Yeah, it's just never going to work out.
No, especially not now that Arsenal are doing so well. It's driving an even bigger wedge between me and the male population of Spurs fans.
Sucks to be them, really, doesn't it?
Sucks to be them right now.
Well, I think that's definitely true.
That one is false.
I feel like I've got every single one wrong so far.
I was so obsessed with David Seaman, Arsenal goalkeeper.
Yeah,
Legend.
I know.
Thank you. I used to dress up as him around the house, and I used to sign bits of paper with his phrase, safe hands, but I'd say safe hands, Laura Woods. And this is my mask. Have you ever had a Seaman mask before?
I've never had a Seaman mask before, so thank you so much. How do I look?
It looks great on you.
Safe hands. Safe hands. Does it look good?
It's really good.
Wow, you were a really fun child with the insects.
Such a weird kid.
Were the insects and David Seaman ever involved together? Did you ever dress up as him and do the insect racing?
I can't say I've ever combined insects and semen before.
That would have been too much for people to handle.
I think it might have been.
Have you met him since?
Yeah.
And did you tell him about this, that you used to dress up as him?
I did actually.
What did he say?
He loved it. So we used to do a radio show together, and it was one of the first stories that I told him. I said I used to sign your name, but what I do is I'd write it on a little bit of paper and I'd leave them around the house. My brothers were like, Laura, not again.
Oh wow, that's cute.
It's my sad little life.
Why David Seaman? There's so many other players.
David Seaman went through a period of time where he had long hair and a ponytail, and I love long hair on a man.
Okay.
I'm really upset. Is there anyone? Unfortunately not.
No, it's so sad. God, if we'd have known, I would have made sure that every single crew member had long hair, or at least was wearing a wig of some kind. Especially for you.
Yeah.
So did you have long hair as well? So it kind of made sense.
Yeah.
You could dress up as him. Do you think you looked quite similar?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he also used to have a lot of facial hair. I work really hard to get that off these days.
With shaving it in the morning.
No, you can't shave.
Oh, sorry, cream?
Yeah, no, not cream.
Laser?
I might move on to that, actually.
I think the laser's pretty good. That's what I do with my beard. I just laser it off.
Do you really?
Yeah. Okay, I think this is definitely, true. It is true. Finally, I got one right.
David Seaman. I mean, I had an obsession with most of the teams, to be honest. But David was definitely my number one.
Number one. Well, it's been a pleasure.
It's been all mine.
And can I just...
Take the Seaman mask.
Yeah. Bye, Laura. Thank you so much.
Wow, it does look good on you.
Does it? Okay, great.